What is up, you guys, and welcome to my channel. This is your girl Keely, and you're tuned into Beauty by Keely. So basically what I want to start in 2026 is a whole series of teaching you how to do your makeup step by step so that you can learn how to do a nice natural beat. We're going to get into eyes, just different things like that. And we're actually going to teach you how to do your makeup in 2026. Okay, so you can do your own makeup, whether you want to just save money and not pay a makeup artist anymore, you just want to do it for special occasions and just need a little quick beat. That's what the vibes that we're going for. So in this first video, I'm going to be teaching you how to do your eyebrows so that you can get them like this. So basically what we're going to be doing with each video, we're going to break it down step by step. So we're going to do eyebrows. The next would be skin prep. The next would be foundation, how to blend out your foundation. Then we'll do your concealer, your bronzer, contour. Like, we're going to go through everything so you'll know everything. So let's get right into the video, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and start enjoying the series. I'm definitely going to be trying to upload once a week. So definitely turn on your post notifications so you'll know when I do upload. Okay, girl. So yes, let's get into this video. But before we do, make sure you hit that subscribe button, okay? Let's go. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but it literally just started raining out of nowhere. Like raining and the wind blowing very hard. But the first thing you're going to want to do is to make sure your brows are cleaned up first. So whether you get them arched, threaded, however you want to do, make sure your brows are cleaned up so they'll look as nice as possible. So the second thing that you want to do is pick a good brow pencil, and I love an affordable brow pencil. I go with the Wet n Wild micro brow pencil, and this is what it looks like. It's very fine. You could get a thicker brow pencil if you want, but this one is just very precise. It doesn't cost a lot of money. It only costs like $3.28, something like that, off of Amazon. I reorder it. I definitely stick with Wet n Wild, and it has a spoolie on one end, so that way you can make sure your brow hairs are in place and combed the correct way. They're all going one place before you actually start to fill them in. So the first thing that you're going to do with your brows is that you want to start to create a line under the bottom, and you also want to create a line on the top. So you can either start from the middle of the brow, or you can start from the front. I usually like to start from the front with a very light hand, and all I'm doing is basically outlining my brow at the bottom. We're just gonna outline first. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do the same for the other side. I'm doing very light strokes. You do not want to be heavy-handed, so you want to hold your eyebrow pencil at the very end. Holding it at the end helps with lighter strokes as opposed to holding it up here and then you have a stronger grip. So definitely hold it more towards the edge and just trace underneath your brow. Now this is definitely going to take some practice. The more you do it, the better that you will get at it. So then I'm going to do the same thing at the top. Right now we're just tracing right along the top. And you can basically see where you would arch at. And if you can see right there, I have some hair actually missing, but my arch is supposed to be right there. So basically what I'm going to do is just go over the top of it and create where my brow would naturally arch at. And then I'm going to connect those two ends. So I connect the top to the bottom line that we did. Now that you have your outlines done, what you're going to do is you're basically going to just start filling in those sparse areas. So real light strokes. If you like an ombre brow, then you can basically do very light hand at the front and then do a darker hand at the back. But I just like filling in my brows so they'll all look kind of the same, kind of natural. So that's what I'm doing with that one. And then the little sparse areas right there where you created the outline, you can go and fill that in. Very light strokes. You see how I'm not dragging it? What I'm doing is just doing very light strokes. Once you have your brows filled in how you like, basically you will want to take that spoolie end of your eyebrow pencil and you want to comb that product through your eyebrows, and this is going to make your brows look more natural. So if you comb the front so the front isn't as blocky, you can do that. But you want to make sure that that product is combed through your brows so it doesn't look like there's just product there and it's just sitting there and it's very dark. This makes your brows look more natural. Even though you kind of have your brows outlined, this just makes it look a lot more natural. This is where the cleanup part comes in. This is where the concealer comes in. There's a lot of people that like to use brow gel to lay down their hairs. I'm not a big brow gel person, so I'm just going to show you the way that is the easiest possible when you're just starting off trying to learn how to do your brows. And we're just going to do it. And once you get better at practicing your brows, getting them symmetrical, then you can start to add all the other stuff. Since this is beginner, then I suggest that you stick with a concealer that is closest to your skin tone. But if you want that highlighted look, then you would choose a concealer maybe 1 to 2 shades lighter to do underneath your brow bone. That just creates that highlight, that lightness, that dimension there. But I'm going to stick with a shade that is closer to my skin tone. So today I'm going to be using the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Concealer. And I love this concealer. This is in the shade Cookie Dough, but you would pick a concealer that is close to your skin tone. Important thing that you will need is a flat concealer brush. Now this has, you know, product on it or whatever, which especially because I'm about to use it. But when I say a flat concealer brush, one that is flat like that, you want a very flat brush. Here is an example of another one that I have used, but a very flat brush like that, because this is going to make it easier to get in the curves of your eyebrow. So if you want to, you can take a little bit of concealer and go ahead and put it up there, or if you want to layer it on your brush, however you want to do, just pick up a little bit of concealer. Do not do a huge dab, just pick up a little bit. And what you're going to want to do, you want to start at the arch of your brow first. This just makes it a whole lot easier. And what you're going to do is just trace right underneath where you have drawn it. And you're carving out your brow. So trace right underneath that line. And what you want to do is try to trace right outside of it. You don't want to try to get into your brow. You want to get as close to that brow line that you can. And then you want to do the same for the front and kind of connect the front and the middle. So you can go and just take your brush and brush underneath there, try to do a line and to make it as straight and connected as possible. Or you could lay it flat, so you could do it like this and try to trace, or if you feel better doing it this way, then you can do it that way. You want to take any small blending brush that you have. This is from Real Techniques. I love Real Techniques brushes, and I really love like the angle of this brush as well, how small it is, because it's great for concealer and blending. And you want to just blend that out and blend it down onto your lid. Now the concealer can be used as a base for eyeshadow if you would like, or you can leave a little bit of space like how I have done here. And if you rather use a eyeshadow primer when you get into that, then you can. But honestly, I love using concealer for a eyeshadow base. It works just as well. But do you see how that is blended? There's really no harsh line under there. We have it nice blended and tapped in. See, I have both of them done now, and so we're going to move on to the next step. And the next step is to clean up the top of your brow. But some people use concealer to clean up the top of their brow, but I would rather for you to use foundation. The foundation that's the color of your skin that you're going to use throughout your whole face to clean up the top of your brow. That way you don't create that light line, how you'll see some people have their eyebrows highlighted and you can clearly see that they use concealer at the top. I'm going to be using the Maybelline Super Stay 24 Skin Tint, and I got this in the shade 220. We're going to use that same flat concealer brush. And if you want to know what brush this is from Makeup by Aaliyah. It's from her brush set that she has, and it comes with a flat concealer brush. So what I like to do is flatten it out just so I don't have so much foundation, because if you have too much foundation on your brush, then it's gonna get into your brow hairs. What you're gonna do is have some of that product and you're gonna get as close as you can to that line that you drew on the top without trying to get product in your brow hairs, and you're just going to outline it. The same how you did at the bottom. You're gonna connect the top to the bottom. And then you're going to take that concealer brush or that flat brush, that blending brush, whatever you have, and you're going to blend out the edges. And you can blend a little bit into the front of your brow so it doesn't look so blocky, but this is what gives that nice look to your brows to where they look nice and cleaned up. This is how you make them symmetrical. So now, as you can see, I have this brow outlined. I have the under of this one done. So we're gonna go ahead and do the top of this brow as well, because eyebrows are more of sisters and not twins. No matter who you are, it's just a thing. So you just at least want to try to get them as symmetrical as you can. But if they're not perfect, do not fret. Keep working at it, keep trying. Now I'm blending that out. And so now you have a nice looking ready to go brows, and you're ready to do the rest of your makeup. Or if you just want to wear it like this, what you can do is add some powder over it, so that way they don't get too oily and your product starts to run. You could just powder them down and go like this if you want to, but you know, I'm a makeup wearing girly, so I'm gonna do my makeup. But I just wanted to show you how, if you want to do your brows, this is how they would look. Not too much, not too dark, like a nice sculpted natural brow.